Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Cinema Review. On this week's episode, we're covering from 1999, Office Space.
A look into a day in the life, a little bit of embezzlement, and a little bit of arson.
Yeah, money skimming and swing line staplers. That's what I'm talking about.
That's all you need.
Yeah, I love this movie. We hope you're loving the show. Speaking of which, leave us that 5-star rating. On Apple, you can leave us a written review. It really helps us out. Sit back, relax, and enjoy from 1999, Office Space. Hey, this is Dave.
Matt.
And Zap.
And welcome to the Vintage Cinema Review.
Where every week we review some of our favorite films from the past.
Hey, there ain't no late fees here.
Silence is golden. And be kind. Rewind.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
How do you do?
Hey. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, everybody back. Welcome to the Vintage Cinema Review.
Yeah, good to be back.
Very happy to be here.
What are you loading in the V.C.R. today?
Ooh, from the looks of it, it's Office Space.
Yeah, 1999.
1999 classic.
99, the number.
That's the one.
Another summer.
We're going to party.
Like it's.
Indeed.
So this one's rated R. The release date on this, to be exact, February 19th, 1999. Running time on this, 89 minutes. This one was directed by Mike Judge. So we all know him, I hope, from Beavis and Butthead.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill, yeah. Screenplay by Mike Judge. And it was based on a short little skit called Milton. I think it was like on SNL or something that Mike Judge did, like a little animated short.
Liquid TV.
Is that what it was, Liquid TV?
Yeah, well, Liquid TV was a thing on
Fox.
On MTV.
on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
like a little segment.
That's with the ambiguously gay duo. Was
Indeed.
That? Yes.
Yeah. Produced by Daniel Rappaport and Michael Rotenberg. And that Rappaport, I wonder if he's related to the, what's his name? Who's the other Rappaport guy?
Ian Rappaport.
Well, there's that guy
from
from the NFL.
ESPN.
And then what's the other guy? He's an actor too.
Michael Rappaport from
Michael Rappaport. Zebrahead and all that.
he's the white dude in like all of Spike Lee movies.
Yes, that's the one. Yep. So budget on this movie, $10 million. Box office, 12.2.
I mean, that's one. That was terrible. Two,
Thank you.
Look, you're $2 million in the black. That's good.
In Hollywood, $2 million.
Look, man, I would say the juice is worth the squeeze.
Really? That's a squeezy juice.
Okay, think about this. If I spend $10 million to make $12 million, that's
$2 million more.
Yeah,
I get it.
That's a good return.
But in the way that we do our movies, is that a squeezy juice? Like honestly,
I think as long as you're making your money back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like if it was $8 million, then you're losing $3 or whatever.
You're losing $2. That's right.
You guys are. That's a shitty return.
So
I got it.
If they spend 10, anything less than 10 means they're losing. Anything more than 10 means they're making.
And then you got to think about the residuals after. This is just box office. So,
that's like in the theaters. Like nobody was running out to see this. But in today's world, the movie makes more sense.
It's a man's world.
Yeah. So filming dates on this between May 4th of 98 and June 29th of 98. So a little over a month, almost 2 months. And this is filming locations on this were Austin, Texas, in and around Austin, Texas, and the Florida Keys, which I guess is that ending scene of the very end of the movie.
Yep.
That's the only part I can think of. That's pretty much it for the budget and all that good stuff. So we'll turn it over to Zap for the cast.
All right. So we've got Ron Livingston as Peter Gibbons, David Herman as Michael Bolton, Ajay Naidu as Samir Naji Nanajar, Jennifer Aniston as Joanna, Stephen Root as Milton Wadhams, Gary Cole as Bill Lumberg, Richard Reel as Tom Smykowski, Diedrich Bader as Lawrence, Peter's next-door neighbor, Michael McShane as Dr. Swanson, Alexandra Wentworth as Anne, Greg Pitts as Drew, a young employee at Initech, John C. McGinley as Bob Slidell, Paul Wilson as Bob Porter, Bob Slidell's colleague, Todd Duffy as Brian, a waiter at Tchotchke's, Orlando Jones as Steve, a magazine salesman. Mike Judge as Stan, the manager of the Tchotchke's restaurant. And Joe Bays as Dom Portwald, another one of Peter's superiors at Initech.
Yeah, I think this cast was like really good to me. Like I thought they cast it perfectly.
Absolutely.
Like everyone in it had their part and played their part well.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into the fun facts, but I think they cast it pretty good.
So just to make sure I said it correctly, is it Najee Nanajar? Najee Nanajar? Am I missing the accent on a particular syllable?
No, in the movie they make a joke about what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
They
sure
use
do.
this many times where like you cannot pronounce his name, so you just say Najee. We'll
it
get
is
into
a
the
tough
other
name.
one, but-
Looking at it, I can see where it'd be hard to pronounce.
Like, as we go through this, there are places where I had to actually spell it out phonetically. So if I screwed up the phonetics on this, I
You
definitely
tried your best, and that's all that matters.
Thanks,
in this
man.
podcast.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
As long as you gave like 110%, we're down.
You're a good boss, Matt.
Thanks,
No,
man.
yeah,
I bet your employees love you.
They do. I don't have any employees,
Oh,
but if I did,
so,
They would love me.
subordinates.
subordinates. Actually, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Underlings.
Yeah, there's underlings.
Yeah,
I'm in charge of some people in a sense
there you go.
after 20 years of service.
I bet they love you.
They do.
I love you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Najee.
you got it.
That was the cast. I guess we'll turn it over to Matt for the synopsis.
Yeah, I did. I found a brief synopsis of this movie, Office Space. Sharp and funny, says Kevin Thomas of the Los Angeles Times. Fasten your ergonomic seatbelt. You're in for a hilarious ride through the inner workings of Office Space. The outrageous hit comedy that will strike fear into the little hearts of evil bosses everywhere. New York Post. Unable to endure another mind-numbing day in Initech Corporation, slave Peter Gibbons gets fired up and decides to get fired. Armed with a leisurely new attitude and a sexy new girlfriend, that's Jennifer Aniston, he soon masters the art of neglecting his job, which quickly propels him into the ranks of upper management. Written and directed by Mike Judge, Beavis and Butthead Do America, TV's King of the Hill, Office Space is an irreverent comedy fantasy that'll keep your funny bone working overtime. Ladies and gentlemen, Office Space.
Ooh,
Nice.
I'm looking. I can't wait for my funny bone to get worked.
I know.
I know, right?
Who makes these?
Like,
Somebody's writing them up.
Is that still a job?
somebody's
Like,
paid for that.
since-
Oh, for sure.
AI does it now. Probably.
Oh, it's artificial intelligence.
Oh man, I hate the AI so bad.
They get like what are those, like the rhythm? What are those things called? Like from your cell phones in order to like.
Oh, the brain, like the way the. Not. I know what you're saying.
Oh my gosh, it's like a huge thing now. Like they can like get like what you shop for and everything, and they.
Well, they've been doing that for years.
Yeah, I know.
I
but
swear
it's,
to God,
it's called
look,
something.
I'm telling you, I know it.
Your metadata.
Everybody else knows it. Your phones have been listening to you for a long time,
Yes,
and that's when you
yes.
think they're off.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, the other day, my family, we were going. It was Sunday, so we decided to go look at cars, and we were looking at the Jeep, the new Jeep Grand Wagoneer.
Oh, they're nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much money. They're
big time.
ridiculous. But we were like, wow, these are really nice. So today on my Facebook, I went to look at stuff that we had for our podcast, and the ads were for Jeep Grand
trying to sell you a
Wagoneers.
Jeep.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
They-
I was like,
they
how did
know.
they know that?
Well-
But they listen to everything.
they listen.
I don't know if I mentioned this story too. It happened to me at work. A guy, I was sitting in the break room, and a guy was talking about, hey, does anybody know about anything about Arctic coolers? And I'm like, oh, I never heard of that brand. And he's going on. He's like, yeah, they're supposed to be as good as Yeti, I guess, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not even in the conversation. I'm just sitting there. And I go out, and like an hour later, I pull up Facebook or something. There's an ad for Arctic coolers.
That's real fucked up.
Yeah.
No,
Dude,
they
that
know.
is, man. That's not cool.
You can do so. There is a thing that blocks
Yeah.
sound. Or,
You-
I
you
know
have to
there's
turn
a
it off, like way
Yeah.
off. Like take the battery out off.
Get a flip phone.
flip phone.
Yeah.
My dad still has one of them.
Don't
Oh, yeah.
actually. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I
like
mean-
for real. And I'm not talking the new Samsung. I'm talking about the old school Motorola.
Yeah, going
John.
back
Yeah, the
way
Razr.
back. Oh, the Razor. would
Even
be-
before the Razor, it would be the Motorola
Nokia,
StarTech.
The Motorola StarTAC.
Gotcha. Yeah.
like the Nokia cool guy or something like that.
Did Nokia make a flip phone?
No, Nokia did not. I'm just saying like the regular just Nokia.
Yeah, the little brick.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember the
But the
sidekick?
thing-
What was the one that was a sidekick? I forget who made that.
What's one is like
Kick
bloop,
out.
bloop, bloop. That one is like kind of like you're talking
Nextel.
on the Nextel.
So Nextel.
they
Actually,
were big for a minute.
So I have an app on my phone. It's called HeyTel.
Uh-huh.
It is, in fact, it mimics that Nextel.
Hey, Tell,
So
you're an
do tell.
all-star.
Will do.
Yeah.
Dildo. So what you do is it's basically you're just sending an instant voicemail to someone, which is how Nextel worked, versus a text message.
Right.
So I get the concept of sending voice to text and shit like that. But for, let's say you and I have the app, I can just click the button, say what, like, hey, Dave, how's it going? What time are you going to that John?
Right.
You will
Get that audio.
You'll get that audio. Exactly.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And that's called a do tell?
Hey, Tell.
Hey, tell.
Okay.
The app is available in the App Store.
All right, there you go, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, Tell, please give us a hey money.
Yeah.
So what have we learned? Your phone's listening to you, and a couple other things, I guess.
I think everybody knows that.
There are apps out there that mimic what used to be Nextel. Is it Nextel?
Yep. Nextel. Right.
And Beavis and Butthead.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Zap's gonna steer us through the movie.
I will do my best, but I'm counting on you twos to help me out.
Definitely.
Yeah. Gotta turn the motor on and starts the driving.
Speaking of driving, our story begins with the drudgery of a morning commute.
See, you like that.
I like what you did there.
Thank you.
I like your style. I like your moves. We're introduced one by one to the key characters as a day in the Initech office unfolds. Peter Gibbons, a programmer who hates his job and hates his boss. Michael Bolton, one of Peter's co-workers who's regularly reminded he shares the name of the famous singer and songwriter. Samir Naji Nanajar, another one of Peter's co-workers who suffers from no one being able to pronounce his name correctly. Milton Wadhams, not sure what he does at Initech, but he mumbles a lot and seems harmless. Bill Lumberg, one of Peter's bosses, a micromanaging, monotone man who's obsessed with mundane details and regularly picks on Milton. Dom Portwood, yet another one of Peter's bosses. Already frustrated with their jobs and workplace, Peter, Michael, and Samir head out for coffee.
Yeah. That morning commute. That scene's so funny because I mean I think no matter who you are, you've been in traffic like that where you're trying to cut lanes.
Dude, that is Murphy's law of traffic jams. Look, you go in one lane, the other lane you were just in is going to go faster.
Yeah, Peter sees the old guy with the walker, and he's looking at him going faster than he is.
That's right. I forgot about
in
that.
traffic. I think that's like you said this was in Texas and Florida where it was filmed, but I think they're trying to show like the LA traffic, which I mean, we have traffic here where we live,
Right.
and I think it's nothing compared
on a whole
to
nother level.
even like the 5 o'clock traffic isn't anything to what you've seen on this movie.
Yeah, I did.
And I like that.
I was tripping off the car too. Like I totally forgot about Michael Bolton's driving an Eagle. Remember those cars?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that model of car.
Yeah.
I think it was like, is that part of like the Jeep Chrysler family or something?
think
I think it's a Chrysler Eagle.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it was called Eagle. And then and Peter's driving like the most generic car you can drive. It's like one of those
Toyota.
bronze Toyota Corollas.
God
Yeah.
damn, that was a shitty car.
Yeah.
Just a shit car.
Yep.
And what did Sahir?
Samir?
Yes.
Yeah. Did they show him driving? I don't remember.
Yeah, he was
showed him
driving.
He was beating on his steering wheel because
Oh,
he was
He was
so
very
angry at
pissed.
traffic.
Yes.
That's
I couldn't tell what car he drove though.
Yeah, I didn't notice. I just took notice of the Eagle. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about those because they were designed the same as like Plymouth
Chrysler
version.
LeBaron? No, it looked like a LeBaron kind of.
It might have been that. I forget. I'd have to go back and look
I
it
think
up.
it had like the headlights too, like the.
Well, that was the
Hideaway headlights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like a sport model, like a stealth. This was more like the sedan version. It was like
Right.
a bigger sedan. But yeah, I saw that and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about those cars.
I enjoyed that part because it showed like not only in America, I guess I would say like the American way of life, getting to work every day, like how much it sucks because you're usually having like a nice time. Like I got to get to work. It's early in the morning, and then you hit that traffic, and it's like shit.
But now look at what this movie was 99. So here we are almost 25 years later, right? So we're 24 years later. Look at how much audio alone has progressed. I'm saying back then you had to either listen to the radio or your own tape or your own CD.
Yeah.
So that's what you got.
Now
Now you can flip around, you can skip songs, you can listen to
a
podcasts,
Yes. Yeah.
all kinds of good
It
stuff.
might be a blessing to be stuck in traffic.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
and you can
Let's
listen.
look for more traffic.
I also fancied Michael on his way in, listening and rapping along with gangster rap.
Yeah.
Just until he sees this one black guy selling flowers right outside the door, locks his door.
Yeah. I think he was banging some Scarface. It was
Scarface,
like
yeah.
Ghetto
Scarface
Boys.
is big in this movie.
Oh, big time.
A lot of Scarface.
And I love the mix of like the hardcore gangster rap with these nerdy white dudes. Like
Yeah.
it's the best dynamic ever. Like I
yeah, of
remember back
course.
when I saw it, I was like, this is like genius because it just, I don't know,
It takes you back.
well, it takes
as
you
being
back.
a young white kid.
Obviously I'm a big hip hop fan, so I love it. But just those guys, the way they are, and then the music is just like too, they just don't. You wouldn't think it would match up, but it matches up perfectly in the movie.
I don't think there's anybody out there listening to our podcast that would be listening to maybe rap music in the 90s where you have it blasting and you go into maybe a certain neighborhood or something where you feel like you're not cool enough to listen to that music.
Right.
So like you said, like the black guys walking by are like, I got to turn this down a little bit.
Right.
That's even me like listening to like Wham nowadays. Like I have my Wham blasted in my Jeep. Sometimes I got to turn it down.
Wait until you get to what? A black neighborhood? Then you got to turn it down.
Like maybe the 7-Eleven, I got to like turn it down a little bit. Some people will be like, yo, what's the dude listening to Wham for? All excited.
Watching that documentary.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic.
I've been sleeping on that. I got to see that.
It's good. It's good.
Anybody Netflix Wham documentary.
Well worth it.
Well worth it.
No Wham in this movie.
No.
So I can certainly relate to, this is a morning in the life at this Initech. So I can certainly relate to a lot of this this is 99. So at that point, I'm a year out of college. So I'm just starting out, right? Like these guys are. I can tell you, sitting in a cube in an office blows dog. It is the worst. It is so bad. It's so dehumanizing.
And the cubicles in this movie look like every cubicle in America.
Correct.
Yeah.
It
was exact. Like one guy had like an old plant that was like dying.
The most generic, but it's this movie has such stereotypical things. Like, so the first one that I can certainly relate to is the one woman that's sitting maybe 40 feet, 50 feet from Peter. She's sitting there just running her mouth on the phone, really just completely disregarding the concept of inside voice.
Right.
So she's just talking loudly for everyone to hear. Dude, I go to clients where that happens. Like, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
What's that the lady like, Initech, hold please, or whatever she was saying, or
Correct.
Initech, hold please, or was it that? Or she was saying something else.
She was talking
to that point.
It sounded like she was talking to somebody, like carrying on a conversation, but but a customer. So it's like, just being kind, but still inside voice, lady, inside voice. What else? Oh, the fax machine. So the fax machine sucks. And this, of course, was when back when fax machines were certainly the thing.
Right.
Yeah, some people are like, a fax machine. What is that?
Well,
what is that, Zap?
We talked about it before. Fun fact, the IRS of all places will still insist on the transmission of documents by virtue electronically,
Right.
by virtue of fax machine, because they haven't figured a way how to hack
securely.
a fax machine. Yeah.
Hack machine.
Thank you, Internal Revenue Service,
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
for your service.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I don't. My wife works in an office, and I give her a hard time because like she'll call me or I'll call her when she's at work, and she's like whispering almost, and I'm like, "Can you speak up? Like I can't hear you, but I get it. You're in an office, like you can't speak loud because there's somebody like 5 feet from me in the cubicle over, and I'm always like, I can't hear you. You got to like speak up. But when you're in an office setting, if you have etiquette, you're gonna. Like,
That's right.
You know what
So
I mean?
there's a level of professionalism you just have to have.
Right.
And look, again, to this day, I have clients where I go that does not exist. So it's just everybody's just yelling. It's awful, just absolutely awful. By now we've already seen Michael Bolton, the character, and everyone is already asking him about his name, or they're like him and Samir are talking about his name, and Samir actually suggests, well, why don't you change your name to Mike? Like, why don't you go by Mike? And Michael responds, well, why should I change? He's the one who sucks.
That's right.
It's
Yeah, I
classic.
feel that's always been a thing too. Like anybody that has the same name as somebody, like, are you guys related? Like, why would they have the same name
That's right.
and be related?
And be related, right?
Such stupidity.
Unless it's George Foreman, because like
He has a grill.
and all his sons are George Foreman. I
Also
think.
true.
Yeah, George Foreman, like the 7th. But
Yeah.
that's a whole nother thing.
That's just weird as shit.
Yeah,
It
that's
is,
just
yeah.
weird. If you have like a lot of money, you do stuff like that.
Right. You can get away with it.
So I've had people approach me about other people whose last names are similar spelling to
Like,
mine.
Start with Zap.
But yeah, but it ends with an S instead of with a C, right?
You related to them?
You're right. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, we don't have the same fucking last name.
Yeah.
Why would we be related? Oh, but it's so close. Yeah. So is Smith and Smythe.
Smythe, yeah, but they're not. Yeah.
Right.
Zapato.
Right. Ooh. Viva Zapato.
Zops.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So by now we've heard poor Peter be reminded by no less than 5 people to include those cover sheets for those TPS reports.
TPS, yeah.
TPS, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh well. All right. Well, back.
What does TPS stand for?
I have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is it?
Do you want it or you want
Yeah,
fun
you know,
facts?
go ahead.
Should we make them wait?
You can fun. Oh, we
Should
can
we
hold on
tease
to
them?
it.
Should we edge them a little
I was
bit?
going to say you're edging
That's
me right
edging.
now.
Yeah.
Do you want it? Do you want it now?
No, just wait.
Edge-
We'll tell you what the TPS.
oh my God.
All right.
Later.
Yeah. All right. Save that for the fun facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't fast forward.
Yeah, keep it on that.
Yeah.
Let them stew.
Marinate.
Serenade. Meanwhile, back at the office, notice of restructuring is sent to all employees. We are now introduced to Tom Smykowski, a long-standing employee at Initech who's afraid of being fired. That night, we're introduced to Lawrence, Peter's neighbor, who shares an apartment wall with him through which every conversation can be heard. Evening comes and morning follows.
Yeah, that neighbor's the best.
Dude,
Lawrence is he has a great.
his lines are great.
He's always like, man, look here, man. Check this out, man.
Dude, Peter, turn to Channel 9, man. Check out the chick.
Breast exams.
Breast exam on Channel 9.
But he's just like I think he's just like a regular, like real dude. Like
Oh,
that's
no
kind of
doubt,
like
yeah.
He's a mullet sporting construction worker.
yeah,
Absolutely.
but he's just like a real life guy. Like I think
He's-
anybody in our age in our 20s would have loved to like growing up with that guy next
Hell yeah.
door.
That's-
That would have been the coolest guy to
He's
have.
salt
as
of
a,
the earth. He's salt of the earth people. 100%.
Drinking some Miller MGD.
MGD.
Yeah, Miller Genuine
in the
Dry.
black can.
Notice that too. Do they still make MGD?
I don't think so. You get the Miller High Life. You got.
I get the High Life and I get Miller Light.
Yeah.
Miller's Light.
They kind of did that with the way of the Coors when they had the they have the Coors banquet and there was a Coors genuine or something draft.
Yeah. Kind of went away.
Yeah, like same thing with the Miller's
So,
genuine draft.
Look, I
went away.
remember drinking the shit out of MGD.
Mhm. No, I did too. I
do.
liked MGD back in the
And
day.
it just went away. Like my tastes changed and all of a
Yeah.
sudden I looked back and all of a sudden MGD wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
They had to get into like this whole IPA thing, and I enjoy an IPA, but like
Dumb.
every place you go to now is like pushing the IPAs.
Super saturated.
There's
Yeah.
there's a couple other beers. What was that one? Red Wolf. Remember that?
Yes,
Red Wolf.
Yes.
And
Was that a malt liquor or no?
no, I think it might have been, but Red Wolf was a big one. And then what was the other one with a dog on it? It was Red something.
Red Dog. I
Was
think
it
it
Red
was Red
Dog?
Dog. Yeah.
There was like a dog on the
Could
front.
have been.
There's
There was a lot
those
of
beers.
reds.
Yeah, they went away. The Zima, obviously.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah,
that was
I think
like-
that caused cancer or something like that. That was a bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, Zima was a bad thing.
Excuse me, I ordered a Zima, not emphysema.
Yeah.
Is that a commercial?
That was on The Simpsons.
Oh, was it?
They're sitting.
Of smoking.
Troy McClure is sitting with one of Marge's older sisters, who he ends up marrying.
Yes.
And
yes.
was either Patty or Selma, and she lights up a cigar, and the guy at the table next to her says, "Excuse me, waiter, I ordered a Zima, not an emphysema."
Oh, shit.
Classic.
Yeah.
So, dude, Lawrence is so just hilarious. So, what's his name? Peter asks him, "So, hey man, has anyone ever asked you if you had or told you might have a case of the Mondays?" To which he responds, "Well, I believe you'd get your ass kicked saying something like that." Like he's just so fucking down to earth and just so cool, man. He's grounded.
Well, no, that's the whole construction thing. Like you would never hear anything like that working. Like I think like blue collar jobs. You growing up, like not growing up, but you working like white collar
Sure.
work, things like that. I'm sure you don't like, or I'm sure you would hear more.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I wondered about that too, and I was thinking that when I'm looking at that guy, and I'm thinking like, but I bet you in offices, Nazad would know because you work, work.
Yeah,
in
you work in
office, that
offices.
There's some shit that goes down.
Oh,
probably
for
conversations
sure.
and stuff by the water cooler. They call that like water cooler talk or whatever.
So I have the luxury of going for the majority of my career. I spent going from client to client to client, be it for Big Four firm or now on my own. It's different. Everything's going to be different depending on the client,
Right.
Depending on the business, depending on the whatever. That's going to dictate everything. Now, equally, even when I was with just a standard employer, and I'm up in the like a muckety muck role. I mean, the people still. Actually, I remember getting there and like professionalism was just thrown out the door. Like these people would talk about anything,
Right.
like just anything.
But I think coming more from like a blue collar job, if somebody said something real stupid, you'd be like, man, shut the fuck up. That's
Yeah, of course.
stupid.
Of course.
But then in a white collar job where you have clients, things like that, you have to.
That professional.
Yeah, you have to be professional. Like, haha, that's funny.
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
That's a good one. I like that. That's a jovial quip, sir.
Maybe that's why he enjoys hanging out with that neighbor when he gets home. He can just like
Yeah,
be a normal
be a normal dude.
let his guard down and just be whatever.
You might be right.
Yeah,
You might.
You're on to something.
I think
there.
you might be on to something.
Yeah.
maybe.
So by now there was the question going around amongst the group of the workers, like what it's some kind of, I don't know, an aptitude or some kind of determining factor. Like when you're talking to your guidance counselor or some shit, they ask you, if you had $1 million, like what would you do with $1 million? So Peter asks Lawrence, all right, what would you do with $1 million? His response, 2 chicks at the same time.
Without even thinking.
Classic. Although, according to Lawrence, but look, man. So Peter says, man, if I had $1 million, I'd do nothing. What do you mean? Well, I'd do nothing. I wouldn't work. I wouldn't do this, that, and the other. I would do nothing. So, man, you don't need $1 million to do nothing. Take a look at my cousin. He's broke and he don't do shit.
You know what? Yeah, he's right though.
Very true.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that don't do shit.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Yeah, they have nothing and do nothing.
Exactly.
But you
But
don't
they're
need-
happy. You
Yeah,
know what I
but
mean?
they are happy.
Yeah.
That's like at work, like right now as we speak, there's I think the lottery's up to
1 billion.
600,
Doors go like this.
640 for the
The doors.
Powerball, and like Zap just said, $1 billion for the mega
Vice versa.
What is it?
Powerball is with a B. Right now, Meg is at 600 something.
Okay, still you're talking 600 or 1 bill. You take the cash.
Sure. Or the cash value of the-
400 mil for the 6 and.
It's 500 and some. It's approaching 600 cash for the Powerball right now.
Okay, so long story short, you're in the
Too
1%.
late.
You're in the 1%.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Doors go like this.
So yes, your doors are so fucking cool. But anyway, like talking at work, like that's stuff that people bring up. Like, you know, oh hey, you're playing the Powerball, you're playing the lottery. And then the topics come up like, what would you do? Oh well, I definitely get like a beach house, or I definitely get a boat.
I'd never
you-
I'd never see you again.
Well, that's the whole thing. And people act like it's something that, oh, I'd come back to work, and I'd like, shut up. We ain't doing shit.
Nobody going to
Who
work.
are you trying to? You ain't got to lie.
Man,
I mean,
I would bring donuts in. I think that day.
I would just pay.
And then jet.
That day.
I mean, that kind of money, I would just pay all my good friends. Like, yo, just quit working.
Okay,
and-
okay. Again, that's what you say.
Well, why wouldn't you? What do you? You're not gonna spend all that money. $600 million.
You're not going to, but you have kids who eventually maybe have kids.
You also
or
have a wife who will say, fuck no.
that.
I mean, yeah, but
Look, I do. I can tell you that's exactly. Look, I would say
Yeah.
the same thing. In fact, I have said the same thing. Look, if I went, I want to give, I will give Dave this, and I'll give Matt that, and
Yeah.
I'm going to give this one that, and I'm going to give the other one that. Hell, you are is the response.
I just think like
would,
you want-
would be you're not saying you're or any of us like I think we would be put in a jet. There would be lawyers called, and you would not be seen again.
no, man.
You think
How would you be happy?
500 million?
You would disappear and not want to see any of your
I
friends.
wouldn't
or-
disappear. I would be kidnapped.
But I'm saying, what are you gonna start a whole new life with all new? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, in the uppity section.
So maybe on the east side,
you're going
yeah,
to
yeah.
fish
Here we
don't
go
fry in
now.
the kitchen.
No. See,
beans don't
You'd be
burn
like,
on the
you'd
grill.
be like the Jeffersons, man.
I guess I don't know. I look at it differently. But
Look, I'd be happy
who
to just
knows?
go down and kick it with Lenny Kravitz. I like what he
Yeah,
did.
living on that island. I wouldn't want to be alone like that. I want people around me.
No, I would buy an island. I'd fly my friends out there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'd want people
But it
around me.
would
like,
take.
yo, here,
I'm just saying it would take time.
I mean, now you're talking about life changing money. I'm not talking about I want $1 million. I'm talking. You're
Right.
saying
Yeah,
600
we're
million
saying
or $1 billion.
Yeah.
yeah.
I could. If I said,
Which wouldn't be?
Here-
It'd be like 600 million.
here's
with a billion
here's
cash
5,
payout.
10 million, here's 5, 10 million, whatever.
Yep.
Like, family, friends, close
Yep.
friends, and we're having a party.
Yep.
Whatever, do what you got to do.
Compounds. Yeah, yeah. That
I mean, not
that's
saying that you'd have to live in it, but I don't know. I know what you're saying, though. Some people would want to just
no.
disappear.
You would disappear. Within months, your friends would start hearing from you with your new phone number, and
Yeah.
this and
Right,
that.
right.
And then there would be the party where you would fly out to wherever that friend is.
Right.
But in the meantime, that friend would be Audi 5, man.
Ah, okay.
So, having thought about that just now during this conversation, I wonder if there would be ever that, not necessarily a slippery slope, but always that reminder to that friend of yours
Mhm.
to whom you'd given this money. Yep, I owe my life to Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Everything I do, I owe it to Dave. I got to spend every day thanking Dave, spanking Dave, whatever Dave wants.
Yeah, I know what
Yes,
you mean.
It's
Dave.
a lot of Davin.
Thank you for providing this life for me. Like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like, it's
right.
just a, I don't know, maybe a
you could always
self-conscious thing. Like,
yeah, I know what you're saying. You feel like, but you could always say no, I don't want it.
Right.
Like some people would do that because they would feel that like I don't want to be indebted to you. But I guess it just depends on the individual.
but then
you
what
know?
happens? Okay, so conversely, let's let's say you say, hey, Zap, look, man, it's yours. Keep it. Look, nothing. Forget it. Just, look, we're friends, man. Here's, $10 million. Come with me. Let's go kick it in the Caribbean. Thanks
10
so much.
millo.
Whatever. Pick a number.
Right.
So
I was saying like one apiece.
we go down. So we go down and we're hanging out and we're there for a while. And then for whatever reason, something happens that I piss you off.
Yeah.
That's when, now this is the opposite side where you could say, you're a real jerk, man. You're an asshole, man. I gave you all this money. I gave you your
You
life.
could use it against you.
And now you're treating me like this. Right.
Right.
I don't know, man. I just, look,
I know where you're coming from. Yeah. It can muddy the waters.
Yeah,
and
it turned into Mount Everest real quick, man.
Yeah.
You're chilling and then you're just going down.
Mount Doom.
You'd almost have to have it like, look, this money means nothing. It's money, but it means nothing. Like, you'd almost have to have that talk. Like, yo, I'm giving you this money, but I don't give a don't change anything the way like you treat. Like, I don't give a shit if you're mad at me or pissed at me or something that you like. This doesn't matter. Even though, like I said, I know what you're saying. It wouldn't matter. But
I think I would. I don't know. I think I would take care of my friends, and it would be a small group to the point of where it's like. But then where does it come to the point that you stop, like, your friends, like,
where do you
hey,
cut them off?
like, oh, I want to open this business.
Why him and not me?
Yeah. Oh, hey, like, our podcast is doing really well now, but if we just had X amount, like, we'd be like a super great podcast. Like, I don't know. There has to be a point.
Well, you would.
It's weird to think about, but you hear people talk about it, and you're just like, that wouldn't fucking happen, man.
We
What are you
could buy
talking
fans.
You could. We get a lot of downloads for that. You know what I'm saying? That advertising.
You download, you get $5. There you go.
I would just create bots.
Yeah. You're right.
Bitcoin downloads.
There you go.
Yeah. Payola.
Lots to think about.
That was good. Yeah.
No, lots to consider. Like, what would happen?
Put that out there. You guys, hey, call in. Let us know what you would do if you won $600 million.
I'd love to retire and just do podcasting all the time. This is great.
You know how many episodes I was just, it's funny you said it because that's the thing I thought if I hit the lottery, how many episodes we could do, like how much we'd have writers and.
But what I'm saying, we would be on an island, probably somewhere in Hawaii,
Sure,
or
maybe.
in North Carolina. Like, we'd all have boats. We'd have a long. See, I would trust you three, like, or you two. There might be like one or my cousins and stuff. I'd help out and stuff like that, even though they're pretty successful. But not. I mean, I'm not talking 600 million.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, but then there has to be a line, though. That's the whole thing.
Drop
But yeah,
a line.
we could talk about this all day.
we will talk more about that line after this year's forthcoming 30th, count it 30th class reunion.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
When's that?
November, probably.
Not this November.
Oh shit, it's next year. My
That'll
bad.
be next year, dude.
Dang, my bad.
Yeah,
Come
more.
on, math.
All right, sorry, dude. I'm sorry, man. I had whatever. Wait, and it's 25 years.
Yeah, 93, 94.
It's 25 years.
25 years.
So 23, 24, right?
Wait,
No, what?
That's 30 years.
2024.
Our senior year was 93, 94.
Yeah.
No, our senior year
We're-
was 94. We graduated in 94.
Right, but
So you base it off that.
It would be 30 years.
right. But I'm saying, would it go by the school year? So this November would be like
The
our
beginning. No, it would be
So-
90. It would in 2024 is our 30th class reunion.
So it would be November of 24.
C.
Okay.
That means correct, not Mexican. Yes.
But if you went back to November of 94, we were out of school.
So they celebrated in November because that's when they know that everybody in the area is home.
Right. No, I know that. I'm just saying, like, if you think about it.
I'm with you. It should be
Yeah.
June of 94 if you want to get down to the month.
Right when you graduate.
No, that's ridiculous.
It's redonkulous.
Yeah, you don't play that.
This is getting ridiculous.
We don't play that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Well, yeah, we'll start organizing that come next year time.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start talking to the
Organizers.
organizing crew, and we'll
Yeah.
see what we can come up with.
Well,
Be in the basement.
back to our movie.
Yes.
The next day at work is a Friday, and despite his best efforts to avoid him, Peter is approached by Lumberg, who tells him he'll need to come in on Saturday. That night, Peter and his girlfriend attend a session with an occupational hypnotherapist who dies of a heart attack while administering hypnotherapy to Peter. Peter, now in a perpetual state of calm relative to work and life, has a brand new attitude, and he for damn sure isn't going into work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now, what was Peter's girlfriend's name?
Anne.
Anne. Yes. Yeah, I liked her.
Yeah, she was hot.
No, she was, but it was funny the whole time. They're like, I don't know.
So
Man, I
Peter,
just-
I
Forgot about that.
So Peter this whole time has said, "Look, yeah, my girlfriend. Sometimes though, I think she's cheating on me." And every person he says that to says, "Yeah, I can see that."
I can see that. Yeah, me too.
So yeah, that time that he goes through the hypnotherapy. Were we there yet? Are
No,
we-
you're there.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right, right
yeah.
now,
So
yeah.
so the whole hypnotherapy thing, and he's there that whole day. He's off work. They're calling him. Lumber's like, yeah, hey, however he talks. And then his girlfriend finally calls. She's like, where are you? What's going on? And he's like, what? Ann? Like, I didn't come in. I don't feel like it. And she calls back, and she's like, well, I've been cheating on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
She breaks up
whatever.
with him, and by the way, I've been cheating on you.
And he had no care. He was just like, whatever.
Zero.
But that's after like Michael Bolton, Sahim, and his next door neighbor dude, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've all been telling him like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And we forgot too. He was at that Tchotchkes or Flingers. I don't forget which one it was.
Tchotchkes is
where
the one.
Aniston works.
She works at Tchotchkes.
So they went there.
Is that where they got coffee the day before?
Yeah, they went there that morning, and that basically the opening scene. Is once they all get to the office and they're hating life already, they go to Tchotchkes to grab coffee, and that's where we see the first of Peter looking at Joanna, who was Jennifer Aniston,
Jennifer Aniston. Yeah.
saying, "Oh man, I want to ask her
She's
out. I
hot.
really want to," but he's afraid.
Right.
But then the other guy like, how about some pizza shooters? Or
that guy.
Oh my god, yeah,
they're like, you can. Oh, do we have his name down? Is he on here?
yeah. He's on. He's the second to the last one.
Is that Todd Duffy
Yes, Todd Duffy.
as Brian, Tchotchke's waiter? Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
They're always like,
No, just the coffee.
you can be more like Brian.
Right.
Yeah.
He has 30 pieces of flair.
Yeah, he goes over the top.
He goes way over the top. Anyway, so Peter's new attitude carries over into all facets of his life. He now goes to work when he chooses to do so, and has even mustered up the courage to ask out that waitress from Tchotchke's, Joanna, whom he's been observing from afar for months. We're soon introduced to Bob Slidell and Bob Porter, two business consultants who've been engaged to lead the charge in the restructuring process and are interviewing each employee at Initech. Peter's outlook on life has made him a new man, and with his newfound attitude, despite his dislike for his employee, he's actually been offered a promotion.
Yeah, that was great when he pulls into Lumberg's spot.
Dude,
He parks right in there where his Porsche is. You know what I mean?
dude, that was great. They play
Ice Cube, right?
no, that's Ghetto Boys.
Oh, Ghetto Boys. Yeah.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
That's right. The Ice Cube one's later when they're playing in something.
Again, the soundtrack in this is very like, if you're into like any 90s, like I guess that was hardcore
Yeah.
90s rap. Yeah,
Just like
great.
gangster rap. Yeah,
Gangster
but-
rap. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Ghetto Boys was when I got my license. And I had a Ford Escort with a cassette player in there. That was the first cassette I had was Ghetto Boys.
That's
And
awesome.
I used to listen to that all the time. I love Scarface. But yeah, that music in the movie, the mix of the two, it's just the cast, these guys, these nerdy white dudes, and that gangster rap is just perfect.
And going back to Mike Judge in this with Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
I remember when Dave did get that gold Ford Escort.
That Escort, yeah.
He-
it was like
he-
silver, yeah, silver.
Silverish, yeah.
Yeah.
He got like these stickers or whatever, and I guess his dad.
Oh, yeah, my
saying-
dad was like,
Yeah, he was like, "What are you doing with them stickers, Davey?"
yeah, it wasn't, I forget what kind of stickers they were, but it wasn't anything like,
Was it like a crown? Did you have to put
No,
a
the
crown?
Crown Air Freshener? No,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't that. It was like, I don't know, like a tuning thing I forget even what it was.
But
Might have
I-
been like Alpine or something. I forget.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Maybe
It was-
kicker like for the stereo.
So you
Had
put
like
kicker or Alpine up on the
Which
front of your windshield,
which is dumb because you're just advertising like come
Yeah, so people
come
can
steal
steal
my
it.
shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
especially in your neighborhood. That wasn't
yeah,
a smart move.
Yeah,
Dang.
but my dad was
Talking
like,
about the ghetto.
yeah, right. My dad was like, don't put like Beavis and Butthead or anything on your car. I'm
No,
like,
he
"Dad,
said Beavis and butter.
Beavis and Butthead.
He's like,
got
I don't
all
want no
messed up."
Beavis and butter up there on that, Davey. You better not do that.
Oh my God, that's fun.
I'm like, Dad, I'm not gonna do that. Come on now.
Beavis and butter. So during this whole process, we've seen. Oh yeah. So not only does Peter park in Lumberg's spot, he ends up going fishing in the morning instead of going to work. Guts the fish he'd caught like right at his desk.
Oh yeah.
Knocks down his cubicle wall, and the best. So at this point now, he could not care less about anything that Lumberg has to say. He just blows him off completely. He's like, look, I got a meeting with the Bobs. I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, Lumber's hating his shit
He
because
is?
he's like he is no longer a boss to
But
Peter.
he doesn't ever show any emotion now. Lumberg's just like one way.
Yeah.
You ever notice that? Yeah.
So yeah, We're
Yeah.
going to need you to come in on Saturday.
But I think Lumberg's been like his character has been timeless. I think that's been used in,
Sure.
in any office, any just even friends like
Yeah.
that's a good one.
So all the employees at this point are going through the interview process with the Bobs. I especially like Michael Bolton's because the two Bobs couldn't care less about what his job performance is. They're still talking. All they're doing is talking about the singer and songwriter Michael Bolton.
They're obsessed with it. Yeah.
I celebrate that. I celebrate that guy's entire catalog.
That was a good one.
Dude, I worked with a guy when I was in college, I worked at a grocery store, and the store manager went to a Michael Bolton concert in Hershey, right?
Right.
So he came back and he was talking about, he was an older dude, or I should say older, he was probably our age. Or
He was like
At
in
the
his
time, yeah.
40s.
yeah, he came back, he was like, oh man, that concert. Powerful concert.
Powerful.
Just a powerful concert. Dude.
Hey, for my money,
It's
there's
Michael-
nothing when
Michael
a man
fucking
loves
Bolton.
a woman for my money. That's all I'm saying.
I like
He could sing that all day. I can listen to that all
I like in his cubicle too. He has like Navy SEAL pictures up and like Michael Bolton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's and then
See,
I think
I-
there's a Snoop Dogg one.
He does have a Snoop
And I was
Dogg
trying to
one,
make
yeah.
out I think it might have been Gangstar. I don't know. I couldn't make out what the other
these are the
poster
words
was.
that I manifest.
It might have
I
been
manifest.
that, but the Navy SEAL one was cool.
Gangstar was big in that time. Yeah.
Mhm. Didn't really mix with the
The
music that they were playing in the movie,
yeah.
but it might have just been Gangster. Or
I don't
something.
I don't understand the whole Navy SEALs thing too. Like, did he want to be like special forces or something like that, or was he? Yeah, it was a weird thing. Like even in his house, he had like Navy SEALs posters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Mm.
Michael Bolton was into gangster rap and Navy SEAls.
Well,
Right.
So, and then by this point, we've now discovered that, again, they've interviewed every employee. Poor Milton. Milton had been laid off 5 years ago.
He never told him.
There was just a glitch in the payroll system that they just kept on paying him. So he just kept on showing up for work.
He didn't have a real job. He
Jesus.
just came to work.
Well, it's just going to work itself out.
It'll-
Yeah.
That's so yeah, we just stopped. No, what we did was we fixed the problem. That is, so he's no longer going to get paid. We tend to avoid confrontation, so
the best way.
it'll work
Wait,
itself
Zap,
out.
it's always better to fire somebody on a Friday. We feel, statistics have shown
That's right.
that firing somebody on a Friday is much easier on everybody
Yeah.
because
There's a lesser propensity for violence,
But yes.
or retribution.
now Milton, his character was the whole reason that this story even came about.
Yeah, all
Correct.
the other
Office
stuff
Space.
was just kind of made up
Yes.
around him. you know.
It was interesting to hear that Peter's job was at this point he's now explaining to Jennifer Aniston, Joanne, hey, well, what do you do for a living? What do you do? He said, well, I'm a software engineer. His job is to update software to comply with Y2K. So, dude, that was a thing.
Big time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, kids out there, if you don't know, the Y2K thing was a thing. Like, that was a global scare.
Yeah, well, I remember, it was nerve wracking. Like, they were like,
What
what's
was
going
it?
to happen?
The computer code wasn't set to accept 2000, correct?
Well, it was like 2 digits, I guess.
The format of the date was 2 for month, 2 for day, and 2 for year.
Mm-hmm.
2 characters for each. And they basically the whole Y2K fix was to make years of a 4-year increment. That was the fix.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the world was going to explode.
Yeah, there was talk like you would lose anything in your bank account, money you had in the banks would fold.
The whole grid would go down, basically.
Yes.
Saying everything. Because you think about it, like, everything's computer based. And even back then, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but 24 years ago, it was still.
Stuff was tied into that. People were taking their money out of banks. People
Yeah.
were buying gold. Like, I'm saying gold coins, gold bars, gold chains, gold
Doubloons.
teeth.
Yeah.
Gold teeth, yeah.
And then there was the 2012 scare. Remember that? Everybody thought the world was going to end.
Oh, that's right. Because of the
Mayan
Mayan
calendar.
calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which their minds were ahead of their time, though. I mean, I was kind of into that.
Yeah.
They were some smart dudes.
And now there's a new thing. Well, not a new thing, but they're talking about the pole shift. They were talking about that on Rogan. There's like a whole theory about the pole shifts. And like
What do you mean, like the north and south?
It's
Kinda
cataclysmic. Like it'll just the world as we know it would, like, it's happened, I guess they said, over different times and stuff, these scientists, and I guess now they're starting to say, oh, maybe there's something to this theory. You got to look it up. It's like the pole shift theory.
So basically, like, South America becomes North America.
Yeah.
It's the world turns upside down.
Was that have to do with the the heating of the earth or something like that?
It's like the like all the stuff underneath, like, I guess the plates shift and then and then the land stuff. So you have to look it up. Like
I'm no scientist.
Yeah, I'm no scientist exactly, but it's basically where the land stops, but all the wind and water and everything keeps going because the Earth's rotating and everything shifts. But those winds and the water, everything rushes and basically wipes out everything.
Do you think we landed on the moon?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe we did.
Does you think was land on the sun?
Yes.
God damn it, you beat me to it.
Yes, it's technology.
Yeah.
No, there was discussion on that at work the other day.
Well, there's that whole thing going around about the filmmaker. What's his name?
Michael
Bolton.
Michael Bolton. No, Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick.
That he said that.
Well, no, he was the one that they said that filmed the whole thing.
Yeah, they went to him and said.
But they were saying it's a whole thing with the Russians. So the Russians were trying to beat us. We had more, like our film was really like cool at that time. So we could do more with like film and things like that. So they were like, let's just say that we beat them. We had this whole thing, it came on the news and there was people like jumping out, playing golf and stuff like that. But,
Sneaky fucking Russians.
Right.
But I'm saying the Russians never really said they got there, did they?
Yeah.
They did.
Oh, they did after us. So the Russians,
after us.
the Russians were the first to get a guy in space. We were the first to get a
monkey.
guy on the moon.
Yes, on the moon.
Yeah.
There's pictures, but we've never really been there
So
after. There's been like space shuttle explosions.
The first
and all
guy
kinds of
in space was Yuri Gagarin. Congratulations, Russia. That's after they were also the first to launch a satellite. So they were first with the satellite, then they had the dog or the monkey, then they had Yuri Gagarin. But we had dudes up there after them and got those dudes to the moon.
The land on the moon.
So yeah, the satellite stuff I understand, but like dudes actually like chilling on the moon. Don't you think we like have like hotels and shit up there by now?
No.
Okay.
There's a pact somewhere that you can't mess with the moon. Like no mining, no bullshit.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Because you start screwing with that. I mean, that's a big satellite of the planet. You're going to start throwing off the tides and throwing off to this, that, and the other thing.
It messes up everything.
Yeah, there's a global thing. You can't mess with the moon.
So you two are believers in the actual moon landing,
like the OG first
like
one?
where they filmed the guy coming off that little thing that was made out of like Reynolds wrap and okay,
I believe it. I believe.
How did that get down there?
Listen, because a secret like that is too big that it couldn't get out. Like you can do this conspiracy theory shit.
No,
I'm just gonna believe that they did it.
Okay,
I got it because I love America.
I love America too. I have American boxer shorts on right now.
I believe in innovation, and I believe America got there because that was the way we fought communism.
Keeping my balls cozy.
Yeah. So the Bobs actually consider Peter to be upper management caliber, and they're also looking to fire his two co-workers, Michael and Samir. Peter alerts his two co-workers of their imminent dismissal, and the three hatch and implement a plan to skim money from the company by taking advantage of rounding calculations applied to interest earnings.
Now wait, you're gonna fire Michael and Samir, and you're going to give me a promotion and give me 4 people to work underneath me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that sound appealing to you, Peter?
Yeah.
You're in for a big raise, sir.
In the meantime, their coworker, Tom, the one who'd been fearful of being fired, was actually fired and suffers an accident. He's anticipating a sizable insurance settlement, and he's soon to host a celebration party. Michael and Samir celebrate their last day of work with Peter. Tom's party is tomorrow.
Yeah, they got all trashed.
They got trashed. They're breakdancing in Peter's apartment.
Yeah, that's how I dance.
Wait, did we mention the breaking of the fax machine?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, correct. No, that happens. So that's happening. So at night,
that is the whole reason behind this party.
That's correct. So this is their last day of work, and Peter's partying with them. Like, so look, we're skipping out your last day of work, whatever, half day. Who gives a shit day? Or maybe it was the whole day, and they left. Peter's like, I got a present for you
in the trunk.
And that's right. And out comes that fax machine. Now, what was that scene supposed to mirror? Something that might have otherwise been like in a movie or in a show.
I was thinking like Casino or something like one.
No,
of those,
it was
mob
just
movies.
it was like a mob thing where
for sure,
like back when was it with the Resurrection?
Yeah.
I don't know the song offhand. I think it was a Scarface song, but
die motherfucker,
die motherfucker, die. Yeah, but it was just like the way that they took out their anger and aggression and years of like this shit like not working correctly for them. Yeah. Was iconic. I think to this day in movies is a scene that people look back on like that was great. was a great scene.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
My printer just took a shit, so I got a new one. So we could beat the shit out of my old printer if you want,
Nice.
because it's like
We could like redo that whole scene with your printer in the
yeah,
backyard.
that Epson. The
Yeah.
one I
Yeah.
got, yeah.
Or like take it out to the middle of the woods somewhere and just
It
yeah.
lasted a long time, but yeah, it's done. So I
some
was
of the-
thinking about that.
Some of those scenes were great, like the drop kick, and it's all like slow mo.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
just raises his leg and then drops the heel
He
right
gets
down.
angry at it.
The baseball bat. Oh, fun fact. That's what I wanted to mention. From the gate, for as long as I've been in fantasy football
Mm-hmm.
to today, through today and through forever, the picture, my little icon, is a GIF of Michael Bolton punching the fax machine.
like
It-
the
Not really.
fists.
it's just a scene of his face, and he's just, you're looking at him basically
Fake
punching
punching.
down at the ground.
But that's
punching
what,
down
yeah.
at the ground.
Peter and Samir, they're done with it. They had enough, and they're like walking away. But Michael just can't. He can't let it go, and they try to grab him, and he's just can't stop hitting it.
Yeah.
What's your fantasy name? Football name? Is it anything to do with that, or it's just like
No. One is the what is it? Oh, Tenacious. I'm in two.
Tenacious
Tenacious
Z?
defense?
Tenacious Z
That's
is
Tenacious
one,
Z.
and I think the other one. Oh, I'm a West Shore Whiteys.
West Shore Whiteys.
Yeah.
I like the one was Show Us Your TDs.
Ooh,
Yeah.
TDs.
Yeah.
Ah, clever.
Yeah.
There's actually Jack Black is in Japan right now. He's doing a television show where he they have these like pop songs, and he doesn't know any of the language, so he can't sing or anything. But he does he's like, and they're trying to guess like from him doing his thing.
What song he's doing?
It's amazing, yeah. Like he's like,
And he's doing like a pop song.
yeah, he's doing a pop song, and then they have like an audience, like they
he
choose
gotta-
3 people from the audience. They try to guess
What he's doing.
what song this is, and they're like,
It's a game show or
It's
what?
a game show.
So it's like if you or I or any one of us were like humming or whistling a song, you have to guess the song.
Yes.
Except
Yeah.
he's doing it Jack Black style, which he does. Like
Which
if
he
you
does,
watch
yeah,
School of Rock,
yes,
if you watch
all of
whatever.
his stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
But
That's
it's
cool.
intense. I seen it the other day, like parts of it.
I gotta
He's-
look that up.
But these guys are like, they're like, he's really good. Like, wow, his mouth is the music and stuff like this, and they're like really into it. And he's like wearing the same outfits as they are, and he's just sitting there like doing this thing. It's great.
Jack
it's great.
Black.
Jack Black, talented dude, Tenacious D. Or is he?
Truly a talented
Oh
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love Jack Black.
The story of Tom in this was kind of, I mean, it's sad when it starts out. Like, so this guy lost his job. This guy's in his late 40s. So and he gets fired.
Is this
No,
Yeah.
Tom
Szymanski.
Smowski?
Yeah,
whatever it
this is the guy in the beginning that is like, look, man, these guys are coming. These guys are coming. They're gonna fire us all. They're gonna replace us with younger kids and whatnot. This is God damn it, what's his name?
He was a jump to conclusions guy.
Right,
Yeah.
Tom Smikowski.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Jump to conclusions is right. So this dude wanted to off himself in his garage. His wife comes out and catches him, and all of a sudden he has this new lease on life. Now, what's his luck? He backs out of his garage.
Yeah, he does
driveway
the
and
old
just
school, like close my garage doors.
gets T-boned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
By
out
a
of-
drunk driver.
Correct.
Yeah.
He gets the
$1 million.
money.
He gets the money.
6-7 figures, I think they said.
7 figures.
Yeah.
The guy who actually told that story is the guy who said, "Oh, I hope to go to this party and bring my O face."
Yeah, that guy was great. Drew.
Oh.
Is that his name, Drew? I think
Correct.
it was-
Yeah,
yeah.
Drew.
He was cool.
Yeah, his character, they should have had more Drew, I
With
think,
the
in this
shades.
movie. Yeah.
She gets around like a record. Yeah, he was the best.
I thought Peter had a very inspirational quote when he had said, human beings weren't meant to sit in little cubicles staring at computer screens all day. It's true.
Yeah, he's right.
It's true. Come on, man. You're just waste.
No doubt.
Yeah, at Tom's party, he was like, I hope you wear a rubber. The guy's like, yeah, why?
Yeah.
And that's where they brought up that
Well, Lumberg.
he slept with Lumberg. Yeah.
Indeed, that's right. So, all right. So,
Yeah.
despite being sworn to secrecy, Peter shares he and his coworkers' plan to skim fraction of cents with Joanna. Attending Tom's party results in a number of unexpected consequences, including Tom having a new lease on life, Michael and Samir approaching Tom's attorney for advice on prison life, and Peter finding out that Joanna dated, of all people, Lumberg. All good things must come to an end. Peter breaks up with Joanna. Joanna quits tchotchkes, and the guys discover that their scent skimming plan has gone terribly awry.
Now, I know some friends have been in white collar prison. The key is go there the first day. You find, what does it say, the biggest guy you can find.
And either fight them or become their bitch.
Become their
right.
bitch.
One or the
and
other.
then you
yeah.
should be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some federal prison shit right there.
Mm-hmm.
That is some federal prison shit. That's federal pound me in the ass prison.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, they don't want to be there because Michael's afraid. He said he's not going to be able to make it.
So Joanna, the whole time, so she ultimately just quit Tchotchkes just because this was over and over and over again. Mike Judge's character, the restaurant manager, look, you're not doing it. You're not giving enough. You don't have enough pieces of flair.
Right.
So she's focusing on, look, I'm wearing the minimum. I'm wearing 15 pieces of flair.
15. Yeah, that's right.
And his response is, well, no, that's the minimum. What you should take that and wear more. Like, take that and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
But she makes a very logical response, right? Well, look, if you want me to wear 30 pieces like what's his name, then I'll wear 30 pieces. Just make that the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Brian had 30 pieces of flair.
That's right. Offering pepperoni shooters.
Mm-hmm. Taco pumpkins.
Taco pumpkins.
There was a lot of stuff that he was excited about.
Yeah.
I did. So when Peter tells the plan to Joanna as they're driving to Tom's party, Joanna, of course, sees this as is clearly saying, well, so you're stealing, right? So you're stealing. And Peter's trying to justify it in his own mind. Well, no, I'm not stealing because these are terrible, terrible, bad businesses, and
demonizing the
corporate. Yeah, that's right. They suck the life out of people.
What is it like? 1% of 1 cent is what he was saying.
It's a
fraction.
It's rounding. It's actually less than 1%.
But he's trying to justify to Joanna, like he's saying the same things you were, like a fraction. It's just it's this, and she's like, so basically stealing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, well, yeah, but it's not really because it's just a fraction. She's like, so you're stealing the money.
Yeah, but one of the funnier was, he attempts to justify that scent skimming plan by comparing these businesses to Nazis. He's like, these businesses are Nazis. And he's like, Joanna, the Nazis had flair. They made the Jews wear it. She's like, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
I think he was trying to say, like the flare, as in like the wearing the symbol.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
all the pins and shit.
Yeah,
He was talking
the
about the
pins.
Star of David
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Not a good comparison.
No.
So
She was like, what?
way off, just way off. That software glitch resulted in them accumulating like $300,000 in a matter of like a few days.
That's crazy.
It's because Michael messed up the decimal point or
He
something.
messed up the
He's like,
decimal
always
point.
miss little things like that, and it really screws shit up. And they were like, well, that could be a problem,
Yeah, it
Michael.
could be a big problem. Yeah.
It worked out way too well.
Way too well.
Way too well.
So as that next week at the office begins, the employees gather to celebrate Lumberg's birthday. Milton is once again asked to relocate to a different desk, and meanwhile, Peter, Michael, and Samir are desperate to find a way to hide all of those ill-gotten funds they've accumulated. So at Lumberg's office birthday, right, you got the singing, which is classic textbook
Office
stuff.
shit. Like a bunch of people who could not care less about somebody that are now forced to sing birthdays. Happy birthday. Like, there's no excitement.
Right.
Like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
I hate you, man.
It's not like Texas Roadhouse. You know what I mean?
It is not
Everybody's
like
clapping.
not like a birthday at Tchotchkes.
Oh, Tchotchkes. Yeah, I'm sure they do that too.
That'd be hopping. Oh,
Yeah.
poor Milton. He didn't get any cake.
But
No, Milton, they're
one
so
piece-
mad at Milton.
pass it around, Milton, or
Well, I didn't get any cake last time. I just want to have my cake.
Just one piece.
Okay. That's why swing line stapler.
So sad, man. So sad. And now, dude, he got moved to the basement.
yeah.
The whole time I was like,
Old
okay,
dirty
I want you to move your desk to the back wall. I want you to move over here. Now, you know what? Forget it. Now they moved him to the basement. He's asked to take care of a cockroach problem. I'm sorry. That's not my job
That
description.
makes it,
That's not my job.
That was what? Who was that? Who was the actor that played that? Milton.
He's been in a lot of things. He was the man in the High Castle. He actually was. He was the man in the High Castle.
Stephen Root.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said this is a quick, like, not fun fact, but it's a little bit of a fun fact before we get to the actual fun facts. Is the glasses they made him wear? Like, I guess it would give him like headaches. Like the prescription was so.
He had to wear contacts under.
Yeah,
the
under
glasses.
them because they were like so hardcore.
He was in a show called Barry, which is on HBO.
Yeah,
It's a
Henry
great
Winkler.
show.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a great show, and he's really good in it, and it's weird to see him.
Yeah,
like, play
he's
like
a great actor.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think he played this. It was such an easy role to like play, but so hard to play. Like the way he did it. And based on the Mike Judge character, like I think it was really good.
Well, they said when he read for the role, he did his own
Mhm.
like take on that Milton character, and they loved it so much. They're like, yeah, you got the part, and do it just the way you did
Yeah.
it. So he came up with all that on
That's
his own.
awesome.
But he was the one that said, like, if they make me move out, I'm going to burn the place. I'm going to burn it down.
So Matt brings up a very good point. Like so Milton Mumbler, right?
Right.
Yeah.
If you listen closely, you will hear those hints dropped. I mean, if you
Oh,
distract
yes.
yourself and you
I'm
just
going
think, oh, he's just mumbling, nobody understands what he's saying. No, you will hear him say
I'm
things
gonna-
like
He did it
Oh,
from the
please.
beginning. He told Lumberg, he's like, if you move, you took my swing latch, I'm going to burn the place down.
You're gonna-
Wait, so,
I said, you don't use murder.
so we also find out, or I should say, Peter finds out no, it wasn't at the party. He heard from what's his name at the party that Joanna slept with Lumberg. He finds out later from Michael Bolton that it was actually some other Lumberg
Yes.
dude
Mhm.
that happened to have the same last name.
No, but that whole thing is like great. I think anybody can like relate to something and
That's all you can visualize.
well, yeah, if you like a girl's like, oh wait, oh no, that was like a long time ago. You're just like,
Correct. Well, somebody says to you, somebody says to you that your wife slept with John Smith.
yeah, and you're like you see John Smith, and you know John Smith.
His last name is Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah, but really, it's somebody completely
it could be
different.
Tom Smith, not John Smith.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Joe Smith.
Right.
J. Smith.
But from a Zulu's perspective, like you hear last names, you just think of that last name because
Yeah.
that's how you know.
Yeah, like
Right.
Zap.
People.
Wait a
like,
second.
Zap,
You
what
slept
you
with
did?
Zap? God damn
You
it.
did the
Not-
dirty D with the
not-
Z. Come on, baby.
No, Zapatato.
Yeah, Zap. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, but she was like, "Why are you judging me? Like, you can't. Like, what? He wasn't that gross. He was
Right.
like, that's everything that I deem disgusting with life and all this other
Yeah,
shit."
he's
She's like,
Satan incarnate.
"Yeah, drop me off right now."
That visual, him with the coffee mug, holding the leg up. Oh, my wife. She's like, till this day, she cannot stand that scene. Like she hates it. She's like, I just got to look away. It's
Is
like,
it because of the toes?
I think it's just him and his like. He's just with
But
the
he has, like,
mug
he
and
has
just
this
like
mug
he's
with the
sweaty
coffee.
and it's just nasty. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I guess it is pretty like
But I like the coffee mug. That was a cool. I like
like
that
you're
part.
actually drinking
Yeah.
coffee while you're going at it.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, as you well know, I drink a shit ton of coffee.
Right.
When I worked at a John in downtown Harrisburg,
Uh-huh.
office is right on Front Street. Worked there for like 8 years.
Was it called John?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I also smoke cigarettes, which
Right.
means I had to step outside. I should say anytime after the late 90s, you had to step outside to go have a cigarette. So I would step outside to have a cigarette, but I always
Had the coffee.
had the
mug.
coffee mug with me.
Okay.
Then it got to the point where I would start walking around the block. Like I would walk wherever. And
Yeah.
I'm this dude just carrying a coffee mug, smoking a cigarette like I'm
Like you're Lumberg.
like I'm the mayor.
You're Zap from the block.
Right,
Yeah.
like I'm
Yeah.
Lumberg.
Yeah.
I wonder if I actually picked that up by watching Lumberg always with that goddamn coffee mug.
Maybe.
Because so to this day, if I'm driving to let's say clients in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
I don't take my coffee in like a travel mug. I take it in an actual
Mug.
kitchen mug, and I'll take a thermos with me, but I'm always drinking out of like a house mug.
We got to get you an old dirty basement mug for promotion. You know what I mean?
We have to make them available for sale now,
true,
don't we?
True. Yeah, we can do that. We can work that out.
So these guys are looking at a way how they can, what is that? They want to launder that 300 large
Mm-hmm.
that they had gotten, and they're like, well,
I wouldn't say launder. That's incriminating.
they said launder.
They're just like 1.1% of half a cent.
Yeah, but they're trying to clean the money up.
Yeah.
So they've accumulated 300 of
Yeah.
it though. So they want
quickly.
very quickly. So the first thing, well, I know what we can do. We can launder it. Well, we need to find who launders money. Well, drug dealers launder money. Do we know any coke dealers? Well, my husband or my cousin's a coke head.
Was it crack or coke? Was it crack?
Coke.
Was it coke?
Coke.
Yeah.
Then what's it? Orlando Jones shows up.
What was he in?
He was on the 7-Up commercials. I don't know if
That's
you
it.
remember those.
That's
He's
it.
very familiar. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't pinpoint it, but I remember the face.
He might have been on like Mad TV, maybe too. I don't know.
I don't know, but I know in order for him to keep his secret, they had to buy, because they asked him, "Hey man, we need to launder this money," and he's just messing with them the whole time. He's like, "I'm not a recovering crack addict."
Yeah.
Like
At the very end, but he was like, "Hi, I like to sell the magazine."
Yep.
Yeah, but his whole act, and then he's like, "Look, man."
Yeah, he was doing the Primal Fear. We were just talking about that. He switched it up.
Yeah, switch it up. Yep.
Yeah.
He Ed Norton him.
Yeah, Norton.
Oh,
Or
to-
Billy Milligan.
Yeah.
Billy Milligan, and to I guess buy his silence, they bought
40
40 subscriptions to Vibe.
Vibe.
I guess that's still a popular magazine.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh well.
What was Vibe? It was like a music magazine, or
Yeah, I think it was. It was like
Vibe was music.
like hip hop stuff.
It's like Rolling Stone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but hip hop.
R&B,
Yep.
hip hop.
R&B and hip hop.
Yeah.
Keith Sweat's coming to town. So is Belle Biv DeVoe.
Penn
Yeah, we-
National Racecourse.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
Hollywood
came up.
Casino.
I think I came up on the last one. We were
Show
talking about
enough.
that. Yeah, somebody, because actually somebody mentioned your Candy reference. You guys one of you were singing Candy cameo.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
What? Who mentioned that?
You
Somebody
Yeah.
somebody was like, "Oh, I was laughing when you guys were singing cameo."
You kept singing something like Candy,
It's
Candy.
like candy.
Right.
Yeah, that's
which is-
Cameo.
Which is done by Cameo. They also do
Word
Word Up.
Yes, they played. Actually, for my dad, I played Word Up at my wedding. He was the happiest.
He was into it.
He was the happiest. Still, Jared George you've ever seen.
Wow.
He's like, "Oh man, it's my tune, man.
He liked
Come
that.
on, man."
It's
Like that.
ironic. As we're
Yeah.
talking about Coke and now Word Up, Coca-Cola actually used that song for a commercial at one
They
point.
did,
They
yes.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
How about that? Cash me outside. All right. Recognizing the error of his ways, Peter makes up with Joanna and decides to take full responsibility for the theft by composing a confession, converting the ill-gotten funds into traveler's checks, and sliding both under Lumberg's office door that night. The next day, Peter arrives at work expecting to be arrested, but instead finds the building on fire. Our movie ends with Peter happily working a construction job with his neighbor Lawrence, which happens to be the cleanup job at Initech's now totaled building. And we see Milton kicking it in the Caribbean.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, Milton wasn't too happy, right? Because he was ordering a drink.
He was
and-
still pissy. Like, you know,
Yeah,
he said,
yeah.
"Oh,
Like, is he ever going to be happy?
I explicitly
Milton.
said no salt.
Yeah.
I wanted no salt and
salt. I didn't know what. And now you put salt in my drink.
pina colada.
Yeah, that guy. He's always pissed.
Was he
Like-
married?
No,
No,
I thought-
no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh,
but
poor
he
Milton.
was 300 grand richer. So
Yeah.
so Milton burned the John down. And I guess when he broke into not broke in, the secretary ran away to go get Lumberg or something. Milton walked right into his office.
And found
I thought you said Milton Berle. I was like, it's weird.
No.
the traveler's checks or whatever they were. Or were they cashier's checks?
He
Traveler's
put whatever
Traveler's
300 some thousand underneath the door.
That's big money.
That's big money. Oh shit! I wanted to do
99,
that.
yeah,
I
that's
wanted
big
to do the conversion on that. What would be the what
Oh,
would
today? From
300
back
grand
then?
be today?
3 million.
No,
It would be-
1.5 million.
It would be more, but obviously, but not like, what was the last one we did?
1999 to 2023.
We just broke one down the
we
the
did.
last one.
So in 1980, dude
That's
was
what it
making
was.
70 grand, and then in today's dollars, that would be 270 grand.
270. Yeah, it was big money.
So at best, call it twice as much, maybe. So let's say it would be 600 grand.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably about right for what the money would equate to. But
Still good money. I mean, 300 grand
I would
yesterday or today is still 300 grand.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a house, but.
Fun
Fun
facts.
Wow, that was extra chorusy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I guess it's that time for fun facts. So I know everybody's been waiting. So TPS stands for Test Program Set.
Holy shit.
Test program set. Where did you find that at? They say that in the movie?
No, they don't say. I
I didn't
found
think
it.
so.
Yeah, I found it in my source material.
Damn. Matt's like, I don't think so.
No, I didn't, because like the whole movie, I was like, "What does TPS freaking mean?"
Yeah.
And I don't want to look it
Tire,
up.
tire
Yeah.
pressure system, tire
I don't wanna
pressuring
cheat.
system, or whatever
So
in
is
your
it-
car.
What is it?
Test Program Set.
Test program set. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Peter, you haven't given your TPS report.
Yeah,
That was the whole thing for like 3 or 4. That was funny. He said he had 9 bosses or something like that.
He's got 8 bosses.
Yeah, 8.
In fact, when he's talking to the Bobs, I found that one to be particularly excellent when he explains to them. He's just like, look, man, you know, my only motivation at work is to not be hassled and to, just do enough to not get fired, which is true. And hell, I've got 8 bosses. 8 bosses? Yeah, Bob, 8 bosses, like back and forth.
What do you guys think of that? That was mentioned at work today, where they said you actually work maybe like 15 minutes of an actual 8-hour day.
Dude, the internet has reduced productivity down to fucking 0.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Well, not even that, but just like people working at home. There's people that like, there's been calls I made at my job. We're not saying my job is, but there's people that work at home now where they're just like, could you hold on a minute? I got to like let the dog back in, or
get the laundry out.
Yeah. Could you wait a minute? Like I'm cooking, I'm making cookies. Like hold on for a little bit.
I just like hearing the ones where I'm taking care of my kid. Well, wait a second. If you were at an office, you'd be paying for babysitter. You'd be paying for your something, some kind of care.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it now all of a sudden cool that you can do that and take it, which is taking you away from doing your job?
Yeah. Productivity. You're right. It probably has gone down.
Well, we're going to be replaced by machines in the next 20 anyway.
Yep.
So, that's honestly the way it's looking.
Yep.
If you're not programming something that's going to take a job, then you're not working.
I'm investing in bullets.
So, fun fact, the apartments, I'm sure you guys maybe noticed that he lived in, they're called Morningwood Apartments.
Yeah.
What? I never took notice.
Yeah, the sign, if you see when he pulls in, it's Morningwood Apartments. I actually noticed that back when I first saw this movie. Speaking of which, real quick, let me get this out of the way. Did either of you see this in the theater?
I did not see it in the theater, but I saw it shortly thereafter.
Shortly after.
No.
I did not either. I'll never forget when we first, my wife and I were dating at the time. I had my own apartment. I had just moved out. And remember like when like movie rentals would come on like every couple hours and you just had to order it? It would play like all day long, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
on like DirecTV,
Yeah.
and you would just order it. And I was like, what's this Office Space? Let's check it out. And we rented it, and we both loved it. Like we thought it was like, I got it right away. I know some people, they said like first time through, you kind of like, what is this? You don't get the humor. Some people have said that they didn't like it as much, but her and I loved it like the first time.
Well, except the coffee and the sex scene.
Oh, she did not like that.
With the foot up.
And I had her, we watched it. She watched it with me the other day and she still hates it. She's like, I can't, I hate this scene.
It is pretty gross. It's just gross.
Yeah.
Actually, I dress up as, I wear
Lumberg.
like a Lumberg. Yeah. Hold the leg up.
Bring a coffee
Films
cup.
on the internet.
Yeah.
Funny thing is the red swingline stapler that Milton had, his beloved red swingline stapler. They never really had a red swingline.
No.
And after this movie, Swingline did actually make a red one, and they said it surged. It was one of the top selling staplers. In U.S. history.
Huh.
They actually approached Swingline before the movie and said, "Hey, do you want to do like a collaboration?" And they're like, "No, we're good." And then after the movie, they were getting so many calls and letters about, "Hey, can we get a red stapler?" Like he said.
That's amazing.
They spray painted that one in the movie.
Huh.
To make it,
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was never really a thing.
Until after. Then they started making them.
Yeah, they started making them. Everybody wanted a red swingy.
Mm-hmm. You got any?
I told the story. I'm letting you guys jam it up with fun facts.
Jam.
So Jennifer Aniston took her 2 weeks to shoot her scenes. That was it. And then Ron Livingston actually was very starstruck when he first met her, because at that time she was like from Friends and all that. So she was like
huge.
When they started casting this movie, they were like, we need like at least one big star, and she was the one that they got, that they budgeted in, to get. But yeah, he was starstruck and like just tried to not let it show. But yeah, thought that was pretty cool.
The Case of the Mondays, that became a meme after Office Space. That was never really a thing.
Huh.
And somebody's like, it looks like you got a case of the Mondays.
Yeah.
But that actually became big after this movie.
So they invented it.
They pretty much invented
okay.
Someone has a case of the Mondays. Like that was from Office Space.
I wanted to punch that bitch in the face every time she said it.
Looks like somebody has a case of the Mondays.
Oh my God, I just wanted.
But that started from this movie, iconic.
So the gangster rap part of this movie, Mike Judge wanted it in, and one of the executives was like, "Nah, like take that out. Like doesn't
go with
match."
the movie.
And Judge was like, "Nah, look, I want it in." So they did do a test audience and they loved it.
Yeah,
they thought it was great.
It's hilarious.
So the exec was like, "Yeah, leave it in."
It creates that dichotomy. We've killed it already. We've spoken about it so many times, but you would never expect that this group of white dudes are just loving gangster rap.
Right. They should do a movie like black dudes with like Journey playing or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or just like the opposite to see how how it would
But I
play
think
out.
that's the whole thing. It's like no matter what, I think that was big for like everybody at the time because nobody really heard of that type of style that like Ghetto Boys and Scarface were coming out at that time.
Sure.
Like because you had like you had NWA, you had Tupac, you had Biggie, but in around like 99, like with that that just hardcore like gangster rap, I don't think was a thing yet.
Right.
Well, I mean, it was popular. Like the Chronic and all that came out. Dr. Dre, like Snoop Dogg, all those guys. I mean, I think people were listening to rap and stuff like that. It's just the mix of the characters and
Yeah,
stuff.
just-
I think rap was popular.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very popular.
Yeah,
And at that
yeah.
time it was, but it is just the mix, But I just wonder what that would look like the other way around. I don't know if it would be funny or not. I guess it'd be,
One day, love will
Yeah,
find
I'm
you.
just trying to think of like the
Like
whitest music. I
John
can think of.
Denver.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, like John
Rocky
Denver.
Mountain High.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let
that'd
me
be a good
see.
movie.
No,
No,
it's ironic. I had the booze. She had the chronic.
Lakers beat Supersonic.
So originally in the movie, they actually had it written that Lumberg was the one that she slept with, and they changed it.
Oh,
then.
they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
Ugh.
I would have liked that.
Yeah, they actually had that written in, and then they changed it. So I thought that was pretty funny.
TPS reports is still used in today's world as some sort of tedious paperwork like your boss would give you. Like, did you get that TPS report done?
Okay.
So just, generalized, just stupidity.
It seemed to me like Lumberg enjoyed being that micromanaging asshole. Like that.
Oh, yeah.
That made his day. Like that justified him having a job, was to micromanage the shit out of these people.
They actually had a scene where his Porsche got towed, and he got real pissed, and they took it out because they said, like we talked about, he was so like level
Yeah.
throughout the whole movie. They're like, it doesn't fit
Yeah.
that he gets mad about anything. Like you couldn't tell when he was irritated or anything. He was just kind of
So they cut the scene of him chasing the tow truck or whatever. They cut that out.
he was angry, like pissed that they towed his because he parked probably in the handicapped or
He
something
did.
like
Well,
that.
so that was in the movie. They tried
Yeah.
towing him. They yanked off his bumper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The scene that we talked about earlier with the printer, the smashing scene, that was completely improvised. They said, here's a printer.
Fax
We're gonna-
machine.
Yeah, printer, fax machine. Here's some music. We're going to beat the shit out of this thing.
That's awesome.
And they just did what they had to do.
That's awesome.
They said, you hate it, kick its ass. That was it.
So after this movie came out and was very successful in rentals and everything else like that, they were offered. Judge was offered to make Office Space 2 still renting. It was going to be a sequel, and he just went through a lot of anguish. He said filming the first one, he wanted no parts of doing the second one. He didn't want to put himself through that again. He said, so
Really?
he did. And also, I heard that when they came out with the British Office and they wanted to make an American version, they approached him first. They said, "Hey, can you take this British Office show and make an American version?" And he declined. I think they made a comment about like his movie not being realistic or relatable or something like that. Could you kind of do what you did in Office Space, but make this show based on like these characters in
Right.
the office and make it more? And I don't know if he got offended by it or why he decided, but he said, "No, I don't want to do it." And they went on to make The Office, obviously, with Steve Carell and
They
all
sure
that.
did
and
quite
whoever-
successfully.
Yeah. But he was approached about that.
There's actually a really good podcast, of all things, a podcast about The Office, the history about The Office.
Oh, really?
I mean,
Is it with the three, the one, Jenna, whatever?
no. So this one is the host of this one is the guy that played Kevin, the big fat dumpy guy,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
who that's not his. That's just a character. In real life, when he talks, he sounds actually like Andy from The Office, the guy who
Okay.
can play guitar
Yeah,
and
yeah,
sings and shit
Andy.
like that.
Mhm.
He sounds, in my opinion, exactly like him and speaks, eloquently, and he's laughing and jovial. He's a real good dude.
Yeah.
So don't sleep on that. It's like the history of The Office. It is. I assure you, it's worth a listen.
That's his podcast. I'll
Yeah,
have to check
it
that
was.
out.
Okay,
It was
cool.
just a limited series podcast, like 8-10 episodes.
Mhm.
Totally worth it.
That's pretty cool.
They just said Mike Judge used his inspiration from working in corporate America and how much he hated it. That was based on a lot of the stuff that he did with Office Space.
Mhm.
Was just his hatred for just the white collar
The-
American
yeah.
way of life.
Dude, your first gig out of school, when you're doing something like that, look, you got to expect, at least back then, like it's a shit gig, and you're just one of many sheep that are just
That's the whole. Yeah,
they're
it's just
doing this work.
Yeah,
Right.
And in
Cattle,
this case, yeah, in just this, let's say this computer programming or whatever Inditech did, you're just amongst a field of people that do the same thing. It's scary.
Yeah, it is. We always like to talk about who could have been in a movie.
Ooh.
So I got a couple of fun ones here. Kate Hudson was considered for Joanna. That
Interesting.
Would have been interesting.
She would have been
to
good.
see. Matt Damon as Peter.
No.
They wanted him. This is actually after, I think, what movie was it? Was it Good Will Hunting? Maybe it came out with him and Ben Affleck.
Yeah, that was Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah, and who else here? Oh, Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. They auditioned for Lawrence, the neighbor,
Oh,
and that would have been interesting.
I would like to see Vince Vaughn.
Vince
as
He
Vaughn.
could
neighbor.
have. He could have did it, I think. And then Artie Lang for Milton.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Artie Lang would have made it. He wouldn't have made it to set because he would have been so coked up.
Well, but back then he might have been Artie. He was on Mad TV, I think, at that time. This
Yep.
might have been before.
So was Michael Bolton.
Yeah, Michael Bolton was too.
Yeah, Mad TV only went for like what, 2-3 seasons. I don't think it lasted that long. That was on Fox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a Walmart commercial in November of 2022, and I don't remember this, that they reunited Gary Cole, who played Lumberg, and a couple other cast members for a Black Friday commercial.
Nice.
And I don't remember seeing that on TV. And I
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
P.S. When I said
Sorry about
Michael
that.
Bolton earlier, I meant to say the guy who played Michael Bolton, David Herman.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Mad
David
TV.
Herman, yes, not Michael Bolton, the singer.
No.
Michael Bolton.
No, who actually, fun fact, he, like Neil Diamond, like so many artists out there, his real money is in writing songs that other people are performing. Like he gets the residue and the drip from that. For example, Kiss. Kiss at
Yes.
one point did this song called Forever. It was during their no makeup phase.
Yes.
Michael Bolton wrote that song.
It's funny you said that. There was another movie that was coming up that I did a lot of reading on with Kenny Loggins for Caddyshack.
There
Oh,
you go.
yeah. Yeah.
He's one, too, that made up a shit ton of
Ton of-
songs
Sure.
that people just took and made them their own, but
Correct.
he was the one behind the writing.
That's right.
And said, I don't want to do this.
Yep.
Anybody want this?
Burt Bacharach did it.
Burt Bacharach, yes.
Dude,
Yep.
it's huge money, and that's like insane mailbox money.
So we need to start doing that on the basement here.
Yeah, we should start
Coming up with some
writing-
good
Just writing good
man.
songs.
Yeah.
We should probably come up with a good podcast first.
And try that. Yeah. Right.
After this, when we come like really big on this, then we'll start making our own
We'll
songs.
start. That's right. So Tchotchkes was actually a restaurant called the Alligator Grill in Texas and Austin, and
Huh.
it closed down in 2009.
Well, Tchotchkes is like an Applebee's or a
just like anything
Yeah.
else.
Yep.
I think,
Texas Roadhouse.
yeah, he said he was playing on that whole thing. Like, if you go to any office complex in the country, there's always like those couple restaurants, like a Bennigan's,
An
TGI.
Applebee's, a TGI Fridays.
TGI Friday, yeah, that's
Yeah.
one.
Yep. Let me see here.
Bennigan's.
There's no more Bennigan's.
I don't think so.
There's like a PJ McWillahan's now or something like that.
I never worked in like a restaurant. I worked at a pizza shop and stuff, but this one dude I listened to sometimes on he had like it was Covino and Rich, two guys that are on Sirius. They have like a talk show comedy thing, and he used to work at like a restaurant like that, I think. He would talk about, and I think Matt, you said you worked like in high school at a restaurant,
I
but
worked at
when you work
South end of Steelton.
and you wear those black sneakers like back in
Elf
the kitchen,
shoes. Oh, yeah.
and as they get wet and like the fronts tip up like elf shoes,
Correct.
because they get all warped and stuff. And he was making comments about like elf shoes because they get all curved up, and I remember telling Matt that, and he started laughing because you can relate.
Yeah, because
It's
I
good.
wash dishes, so my shoes would be soaked by the end of like
Yeah.
my shift.
That leather
and like the
warps.
smell and the, because you're talking like fry juice and
Yeah,
just nasty shit. But yeah, it's very relatable.
yeah. I never had an experience like working a place like that, but I always thought that was funny when he was talking about that. But anyway, yeah, I love this movie. I loved it back then when I first saw it. I just watched it again and still holds up to me. I think it's one of those ones that's like a cult classic. Really enjoyed it, and
Couldn't agree more.
yeah,
Couldn't agree more. I remember this one, again, I didn't go to the theater to see it, but I saw it as soon as it came out for rent, got it, watched it, and have loved it ever since.
yeah, it is good. So I guess we'll do our little rating system here. So we're gonna, you guys want to do that?
Sure. fuck
Sure,
it.
yeah, let's go for it.
So we going to late fee, return, or burn on this? We'll start with Zap, I guess.
I would go with somewhere between late fee and return. I would have to think on that. Like
Okay.
I would definitely not burn it.
Mm-hmm.
Would I take it back on time or would I keep it one more time? You know what? I would say late fee. I'll
Late
go
fee.
late fee. Yep.
Late fee, yeah.
I think it's timeless. Like the the way that you show corporate America. I'd probably like try to like sneak it in one more time before I had to return it. Wouldn't quite get the late fee on it, but I'd return it after trying to watch it like maybe twice. Watch it that night, and then maybe watch it the next day, like fast forward or something, like some really cool parts. Yeah.
Right. Fast forward that Lumberg part.
Yeah.
With the coffee mug.
Gotta see those toes.
But no, just a great movie about just
An easy watch, I think.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. For me, it's a late fee because this is one of my favorites. I did own it. I lent it to somebody years ago, and I've never gotten it back. So if you're listening, somebody out there has my DVD copy of Office Space. It's okay, though, because you can find this movie. I think I got it on Max.
That's where I got mine, man.
Yep. But I'm late feeing this because I love this movie. I'd probably watch it and then tell a friend, you got to come see this if you haven't, But, so we got a late fee for me. Zap's kind of in between.
Yep.
Borderline.
Teetering toward late fee.
And Matt, you're a return, but you're going to watch it.
Return, I'll watch it like twice.
Yeah.
I'm going to sneak it in the next morning before I got to return it at 11 or whatever.
That makes
Was it 3 o'clock, something like that?
Whatever.
Yeah. Well, hey, like our last one was all late fee. So, it's good. We're mixing it up a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that. So I know we'll be back next week with Caddyshack.
Yeah.
So I'm real excited to hear what you guys thought about that movie. That's a classic 1980 Caddyshack.
Got a lot of Kenny Loggins facts on that one.
True.
There's a lot to get into. So, we hope you're enjoying the show. Speaking of which, leave us that 5-star rating. A written review really helps on Apple. You can find our social media at Old Dirty Basement, on TikTok at Old Dirty Basement Podcast. And I guess that's it for now. So we'll catch you where?
On the flip side.
If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you later.
Peace. Thanks for listening to The Vintage Cinema Review in the Old Dirty Basement. If you dig our theme music like we do, check out the Tsunami Experiment. Find them on Facebook. Their music is streaming on Spotify and Apple, and where great music is available.
You can find us at Old Dirty Basement on Facebook and Instagram, and at Old Dirty Basement Podcast on TikTok.
Peace.
We Audi 5000.